Good morning, everyone. I am thrilled to be here. And the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to use your imagination. So imagine that you're at a business conference, not unlike this, and you're having a conversation with somebody who is clearly looking for someone more important to talk to. How does that feel? What's the energy that they bring to the interaction? Now imagine you're having a conversation with somebody who's completely present with you. They're not rating your value based on the importance of your role. They are present with you and excited to be with you, and they're interested in you. It changes the energy, doesn't it? Well, it was my brief exposure to the world of politics that really taught me the need for leaders that would lead from their soul rather than their role. I did almost 12 years in local government. I did 2 terms on council, and I did 2 terms as mayor. And I certainly learned a lot while I was in local government about water and sewer and roads and the legislative environment that exists for local government. I had a ridiculous amount of fun, and I had some interesting experiences, and I'm going to share a few of them with you today. And I learned a lot about myself as a person and as a woman. So I was the first female to run for mayor for the town of Golden, and I was surprised how often that fact was addressed to me as both a novelty and a hazard. So when I was running in the election, someone said to me, "You shouldn't run for mayor. It is a very stressful job, and you will lose your looks." I had comments that were made to me that equated being a woman with lacking the guts to do what needed to be done. Secondhand grumblings reached my ears. "She's a nice lady, but I don't know if she has what it takes." And I even heard, "We can't have a woman running this town." And then after the election, people would say, "Are you sure you're the mayor? You don't look like a mayor." I received regular comments about my hairstyle, my hair color, what was in my grocery cart. Somebody said one day, "Oh, I really like your shoes. Do you get a clothing allowance?" To which I replied, "I bet you didn't ask the last mayor that question." One man left a voicemail on my answering machine, and he said, "I hear that the mayor's a woman. I like it when the women play in the men's sad box." But it wasn't just being a woman that was a source of mild irritation and curiosity. It was actually my personality as well. My natural style of leadership is to affiliate with others. It's important to me that people feel comfortable around me, and personal relationships are incredibly important to me. It's what people love about me. However, it's also what some people do not love about me, and I found that out. During my first election as mayor at the All Candidates Forum, my opponent ended his speech with these words: "Don't vote for somebody because they're popular and well-liked. Vote for somebody who can do the job." And although I won the election by a landslide, those words haunted me. What if they were true? What if I was too amiable and not tough enough? What if I didn't have what it takes? Because I already knew that one of my personal challenges in this role would be to confront my need to be liked and my desire to be a strong and competent leader. So with those words echoing in the back of my head, I let 2 fears play a significant role early in my term. The first, the fear of being found lacking, of not being enough. Sound familiar? I was determined to do such a good job that I did everything in my power to be over-prepared with massive amounts of data so that I could respond in any given situation. And then, if I didn't have the answer, I did the classic political response. You don't answer the question they asked, you answer the question you wish they asked. I had very little self-compassion when I thought that I messed up. And like a dancing monkey, I was desperately trying to prove myself, to win over the haters. It was like being chased by a monster. Interestingly enough, though, that led to the second fear that played a role in my life, and that was the fear of being misperceived, of being put on a pedestal, of being thought too much of. Because when you are so busy trying to appear as if you have it all together, you run the risk of only being seen for the person that you present instead of the person that you are, warts and all. So when I was elected in 2009, nobody prepared me for the way that the title would change the way people treated me. Now, I got to use the title to do some great things for my community, but it also served to highlight our collective rating system. I witnessed instant behavioral changes when I was introduced as the mayor. So for example, I was helping out at McHappy Days at McDonald's, because that's one of the cool things you do when you're an elected official. You get to do fun stuff like that. And there was a customer that was being incredibly rude. And the young man that was helping me, he said, "This is our mayor, you know." And I witnessed an instant behavioral change. All of a sudden, he was laughing and joking and almost flirting. And I was horrified that someone could be so contemptuous one minute and so captivated the next. And this led me on a little bit of a personal journey. I knew if I was going to survive in this role, I had to be a little less attached to the external temperature and a little more curious about the internal compass. If I was going to lead from my soul rather than my role, I had to let go of the need to be right and to trade it in for the need to be real. And if I didn't want to be made to feel lacking, or I didn't want to be put on a pedestal, then I didn't want to do the same thing to others. And so whether I was dealing with a federal minister or whether I was dealing with somebody who was in my office frustrated and feeling powerless about changes to the pool schedule, I worked to bring my whole self to the interaction and not be caught up in the quagmire of being overly impressed or deliberately underwhelmed. And I'm no longer the mayor, but I want to continue to do the same thing in my life. And so the other day, my girlfriend and I were heading to a restaurant, and there was a young man that was looking for some money. My girlfriend gave him some money, and I said, "What's your name?" "Colin," he said. And so as we walked to the restaurant, my girlfriend said, "Did you see his eyes light up when you asked him his name?" So we went into the restaurant, and we bought some extra food, and I went out to find him, and I was practically distraught that I couldn't find him. And there was a young woman who was also looking for money, so I said to her, I said, "I bought this for my friend Colin, and I can't find him. Would you like it?" And I was telling my girlfriend how disappointed I was that I couldn't find Colin, and she was like, "Wait a second, do you know what happened there?" She said, "That young woman needed your food, and that young man needed you to ask him his name." And so I'll end with this. 3 weeks ago, I was in Spain walking on the Camino, which is an ancient pilgrimage, and I was conversing with this woman and telling her about this fantastic opportunity to be on the stage today. And she asked me the key question that rang in my ear: What do you want the audience to take away? And so I said I want the audience to take away two things. First, don't idolize someone because of their role or their title. They're human, and you have no idea how they might be trying to just hold it all together. And don't underestimate someone's value because of your prejudice and your judgments. Maintain everyone's dignity. And secondly, you can't give to others what you don't first give to yourself. Have the courage to look at your preoccupation with your own roles and titles, with your own bigness and smallness, with your own not enoughness or too muchness. Because let me tell you, you can go from your worship to your wash up in one day. Lead from your soul. Thank you.